There's no video topic. Today is a monumental day for me because it's the mark of doing Wend Wellness every single day for 5 years. 5 years. This is the last daily Wend Wellness that we're going to do. And it's obviously not April 1st. We've done an April Fool's joke like that or anything like that. This is the final Wend Wellness you will ever see on a Tuesday. Now they're going to be every Wednesday. Wend Wellness Wednesday. So tomorrow we get to start. So I guess it really hasn't fully hit me yet that, this is the last one. But what I want to talk to you guys about is just a bunch of different things, a collection of ideas, concepts, just things that you should take home with you that we've talked about in Wend Wellness. And I can't summarize 5 years in one shot of information. It's been a crazy amount of work to study all this stuff. I knew some stuff from school, but I looked up a lot of new information really daily, every single morning, reading and reading and reading. And in the morning, waking up, going, brushing my teeth, taking a shower, having a cold ending to the shower, right? That cold water, that cold shower, cold plunge, form of hormesis, a healthy form of stress, not only helps to wake you up and kick you in. That's even before the super you, right? We have that after. And we go outside and ground. But you release good endorphins. It improves circulation, boosts your immune function. We talked about how people who do cold plunges or take cold showers, I believe it was, a Wend Wellness like 2 years ago or something, have fewer sick days, and by a lot, than people that don't. Right? So there's something to be said for that. It's a healthy form of stress and shock in your body in a good way. Other healthy forms of stress would be things like exercise and intermittent fasting. You're getting in a sauna, anything really with temperature regulation like that. And for a short period of time, it doesn't need to be too much. In fact, if it's too much, as we've said previously, hormesis, saying a healthy form of stress at a low dose is beneficial or stimulatory, becomes harmful or inhibitory at a high dose. And so that's the first thing I want to talk about is the way I start every day not only is the same, whether it's Saturday, Sunday, any day, and that keeps my circadian rhythm regular. That keeps me in an organized frame of mind where I know I'm going to have a great day every day. I started it off right. I never get off the bed on the wrong side, if you will. Having some routine, sticking to something is so important for your mental health, for helping you to reach your goals. And it doesn't have to be something that is specific to a goal. That cold shower doesn't really relate to anything, right? The whole shower is not cold. I start it warm, and because I'm not a psycho, I wake up, I don't hate myself, right? I end it cold for probably a minute, You get the benefits anywhere from 60 to 90 seconds. Some say 30 seconds, some sources. So a little bit is fine. But, it's about doing something consistent, doing something every day, just like Wend Wellness has been every day. And that has changed my life. I didn't know dedication. I did not know dedication until I started doing Wend Wellness. And guess what? When I started doing it, I thought I would do it for 3 days. I thought I was going to do one video, workouts in COVID, give people workouts they can do at home to make themselves healthier when the gyms are closed, when everyone's talking about staying away from the world, stay inside, be scared of everything, not talking about nutrition and vitamin C and vitamin D and zinc and things that boost immunity and exercise and getting more sleep and being less stressed and all these things that are so much more important than all the artificial bullshit that's out there. And they weren't talking about any of that, right? They just, it was a time where people were scared, and rightfully so. It was a pandemic, right? People didn't know what to do, and I wanted to help people in that time. So I started doing them, and I haven't made anything on Wend Wellness, money-wise, but I've earned everything. I've earned everything for my own personal, mental, physical, and spiritual well-being, and I've given a lot to others. And by me what I mean by giving a lot to others is I gave them the tools to independently improve their life. And that makes me happier than anything. It really does. And that's what Wend Wellness has been all about. And that's what Wend Wellness will always be about. This doesn't mean we're going to stop doing that. We're going to do it every Wednesday. You know, and there'll be good videos because we'll have a week to prepare for it. Pressure's on. Tomorrow, but that's all right. Tomorrow, I only have actually one night, so don't get all hopped up. Tomorrow's going to be a crazy video. But, you know, the point is consistency, right? That's the first thing we're talking about here is consistency. My phone seems like it's getting a little bit dimmer. Hope it brightens up. You guys can see me. But that goes for everything, right? And consistency in not only something like a cold shower, in your mindset, in your goals. You know, write down your goals. You know, write them down, because when you write something down, you're far more likely to achieve it. We did a Wend Wellness that showed you were 45% more likely on average, I think it was, to achieve your goals just if you wrote them down. Right? They looked at all these people that graduated from Princeton, top 5%, they all wrote their goals down. You know, whatever year that was, whatever study that was, doesn't matter. You know, the point is, make something come to fruition by making it important to yourself. When you think that it's going to be really challenging to undertake something, it's typically a good idea to dive in. That's when you dive in. You don't sit there and be afraid of what could go wrong. You become excited for what could go right. We're resetting the phone in this thing. I don't even know what it is. It's not a real tripod, as you can see. It's really beat up, actually, because it's gone through a lot of videos. Be excited for what could go right. Make a positive change. Don't let society scare you into thinking you should be worried about all this crap. Don't live in the future. You're going to live in fear, right? Don't live in the past. You'll live in regret. Live in the present and enjoy it. Do yourself that justice. Sometimes living in the present means planning. It means planning for the future. You're presently doing something that is geared towards bettering yourself. And if you want to change the world, if you want to make any difference, if you want to help anybody out there, first you have to help yourself. You have to change yourself. Mental, physical, and spiritual fortification. That's what we always preach here at Wend Wellness, because it's so true. You know, if you do that for yourself, guys, you're going to have a world of love and knowledge and happiness and just everything, physical ability to give to all of the people around you. And so, you know, for me, Wend Wellness helped me to do that a lot. Going through school helped me to do that a lot. Going to the gym helped me to do that a lot. You know, and there was so much that I learned without reading anything. And what the hell does that mean? I was in the gym and I was a young kid. And I had a guy come over, you know, he was 50-something. And I always love to talk to, you know, the older guys in the gym, the mentors, people that, you know, they've been through it, right? Because the way you get really good at something is you go through it. You go through it. And you have to respect that fact, right? It's not just about reading this and reading that. You know, you can look up workouts online, but you have to go through these things to experience unique situations. And if you experience many unique situations, that is the best way to prepare you for life. Because the only thing that is true about every situation in life is that they're all unique. Probably the only thing that's true, right? And we're walking a little bit because, you know, we're trying to get some better light here. The sun's going down. But that might be the only thing that's true about them all. So get out of your comfort zone. Go try something new. Fulfill a promise that you made to yourself. Right? And the only promises that matter, they're the ones you make to yourself. And you can't lie to yourself. You have to make yourself proud of yourself every day. And that comes through nutrition. That comes through exercise, movement. You don't want to be a bodybuilder? I don't care. You don't have to be a bodybuilder. You don't want to be a gymnast? You don't want to be a genius? Right? What really is a genius? Yeah, someone's as smart as all the things they do, right? So do smart things. That's how smart you are, not some stupid IQ test that somebody wrote, right? Or some score you got on a standardized test. You know, you want to be something great. You know, you have to challenge yourself, and you have to fortify yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually. I can't say enough of that. So exercise, right? Obviously, to some degree, it doesn't have to be crazy, as aforementioned. Go walk every day, right? If you want to change your life, just get up and move, go study something, go to the gym, or go outside. Go outside. Even meditation is a healthful form of exercise for the spirit, right? In some way. Don't waste time doing things that are just, false senses of gratification and that boost your dopamine levels in a way that's artificial and aren't giving you anything at the end of the day. They're not giving you anything to take home with you. They're not giving you anything to better yourself. Things like scrolling on social media, things like going on TikTok and just watching videos over and over. And yeah, you can have leisure time and that's fine. But, do things of value for yourself. And I guarantee you, albeit they're harder to do, anything that's immediately pleasurable and easy to do is almost always bad. Good rule of thumb, right? It's easy to cheat. It's easy to litter. It's easy to just go drink and feel better. Smoke a cigarette, take the edge off, to be unresponsible and sexual intercourse with someone you don't know, right? We'll always keep a sense of humor here at Wend Wellness. But it's true, right? So do things that are difficult, but be excited to do the things that are difficult because you know what's going to come from them. And you can't expect to see that right away. You can't expect that when you first start going to the gym on your New Year's resolution, you're going to feel great immediately. You're going to feel tired and sore. But that's a healthy form of stress, and we have to endure these things to better ourselves and stop babying ourselves and babying the youth. Kids aren't tough anymore. I'm not talking about physically, mentally. They crumble in situations. If you went through what Navy SEALs go through in training, for example, random example, can you imagine that daily life would be hard? It'd be a joke, right? It'd be a joke. So do things that are difficult that'll make everything else easier. Have a routine. Be natural. Eat whole food from nature. Avoid processed food. Avoid added sugars, refined flours, artificial sweeteners, and dyes. Cook every day. Cook every day. Cook every day. And move every day. And sleep your 8 hours every day. Different demographics, different age groups, you need to sleep different amounts. We did a Wend Wellness on that. It was newborns, it was 14 to 17 hours. All right, for kids in high school, it was like 9 to 12 they should actually be getting. So they're not getting nearly enough in terms of their development, with what is required for proper growth and development, right? Their body and their brain. Average person, 7 to 8 should do it, and so on. 8 to 9 really for people, in my demographic. But as you get older, 7 to 8, get your sleep. Get your sleep. It's going to help your body recover. It's going to put you in a position to conquer the next day. And what are you really losing by giving up those 2 hours from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m.? I'll tell you what it is. And it's different on everybody's, based on your schedule, right? Some people work overnights, blah, blah, blah. It's different, Shane. All right. But this is for the average person that works during the day, goes to school during the day, lives a life during the day. Successful people live for the day. Successful people live for the day, not the late nights. And you will realize that. You will realize that. For the most part, that's true. There are caveats. There are outliers, of course. But again, this is for the vast majority of people. And what else is so important? So what are you getting out of those 2 hours from 9 to 11? Not as much as you would get from 6 to 8 a.m., I guarantee you. You're waking up with a fresh mind, clean slate, brain power is high, ready to rock, especially if you had your cold shower and your super you. So after that cold shower, back to the routine, what do? We go outside. Go outside because I'm what we call a human being. And we need to be in tune with nature. Because we're just not anymore, right? We're not to the degree that we should be. So I go outside and I ground. So what's up with grounding? We've done a few Wend Wellness videos on that, I believe. Grounding reduces inflammation. Grounding reduces blood viscosity, right? They did a study on a bunch of people and they tested their blood viscosity before and after 2 hours of grounding. It went down 273%. That was a fun video to do. but it's true. That's a big difference. Yeah. So it improves mood. It affects the electrical currents in your body to stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest digest portion of the autonomic nervous system. I don't know what that means, Shane. Helps you relax, regulate body rhythms, right? So that you're less likely to be, say, constipated, which, what do we worry about with constipation? How do we fix that? 3 F's, fluid, fiber, fitness. So more water, more fiber, and fitness. Move around, especially aerobic exercise, right? Move those contents through the GI tract. Just trying to touch on a bunch of videos here. We had no plan for this video, but we do that, right? How much fiber, by the way, should you get in a day? If you're an adult female, 25 grams. Adult males, 38 grams. Why is fiber important? Fiber feeds your gut bacteria. Your gut bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, acetate, caproic acid, valeric acid, propionic acid, whatever. Butyrate and acetate most commonly spoken of. Names don't matter. What they do matters. They control levels of your hormones, right? They affect your mood, appetite, rates of muscle growth and fat storage, metabolism in general, immune function. So people, we did a Wend Wellness, said, at least quoted a recent study, whenever recent was at that time, I think it was in the past year. Lower levels of SCFAs, the things that your gut bacteria make after they eat the fiber, lower levels of those associated with a higher incidence of allergies. You don't think about your gut health and your allergies, right? And it's not just your gut, it's the health of your mouth. Your oral microbiome can affect your risk for heart disease, right? All these things are connected. Foods you eat, they affect your eyesight. They affect how your heart works, your brain. You want a lot of omega-3s. They're fatty acids, right? They're fats. We love fat. We eat a lot of fat. We don't eat a lot of sugar. Eat a lot of sugar, your liver is going to produce fat from the inside. That's not good. Make cholesterol, things that are not good for you. Sugar sticks to your brain, sticks to beta amyloid plaques. Those are associated with Alzheimer's disease. Normally the body can degrade them, but they build up, they stay there. Sticks to your blood vessels, sticks to your nerves, can damage them. Call that glycation. You see this with type 2 diabetes mellitus. There's a whole world of problems, right? And then eventually they get kidney disease and all these things. They're not filtering as well. Do you have to remember all this shit? Shane, how am I going to remember all this crap? You don't have to remember anything. All you have to do, you don't have to do anything. That's another thing we talk about at Wend Wellness. We'll talk about that in a second here, because I'm really passionate about that one. All you have to do is eat whole food from nature, real food. Should I fast? Don't even worry about any of that. Cook every day. Yeah, fasting is good. We'll talk about why. Cook every day. Make sure it's real food. Make sure you're getting at least your body weight in grams of protein, up to 1.5 grams per pound, or 150% of your body weight in grams of protein if you're trying to burn more fat and build more muscle. Nobody should have less than 73% of their body weight in grams, says Examine, especially if you work out. It's important for bone mineral density. It's important for the health of your tendons and ligaments and brain function and so much other stuff. It's not just muscles. But that protein should come from food. So you don't have to remember anything. You had to remember, okay, I should eat about however much I weigh in grams of protein through the whole day. Got it, Shane. It should be from food. Got it, Shane. I should have less sugar. Got it. No processed foods. Got it. If I'm going to have sugar, what form should it come in? It should be with soluble fiber. If things like honey are good too, and that doesn't have any fiber, right? It has other nutrients. It comes from nature. It's not added sugar. And it should still be limited. Local raw honey is one of the best things you can have for seasonal allergies. Along with vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, Nigella sativa, spirulina has shown some promise for that. 2 grams a day for 2 months. It's a blue-green algae, if you guys were curious. So, it's nothing to remember. It's just know that you should focus on protein and healthy fats and fiber and avoid sugar and exercise. Don't exercise to the point where you abuse your body. But don't abuse your body by not exercising or not pushing yourself enough, because you can do so much more than you ever imagined. And that is, I could almost cry thinking about it, seriously, because that is what I love that I do, is getting someone to realize that they can do whatever they want. That makes me, and I don't need anything else out of it, right? We're moving locations because the service was bad. I don't need anything else out of it. I just want to see somebody do the best that they can for themselves, right? We're going to go in here and turn the light on because I'm not done talking. This is the last daily Wend Wellness video. It's a big deal to me. So give me 1 second. Turn this light on, and we're gonna keep rocking. Thanks for sticking with us here. And now we got a light. Good. And you know what? Anybody who loves you, they would always tell you to do what's good for you. And people that tell you you can't do something, you know why they tell you that? It's because they can't do something. And they're upset to see that you could do it. It hurts them, because it makes them feel bad about themselves. Because now they should be doing more. And what's easier than them doing more? What's easier than them doing more is giving you shit for doing more. Nah, come on, stay with us. Stay with us. You know, we're all good here. We're all happy. We don't need to progress. Life's easy. You don't have to take over the world. But you should do what you can for yourself. To be proud of yourself. Do more. You can do so much more than you ever imagined. And I realized that with Wend Wellness. Like I said, I thought in the beginning I was going to do it for a day. I was going to post one video. And I posted one video, and then I said, all right, maybe I could go again tomorrow. After 3 days, I said, I'm kind of sore. Because we did a workout every day the first year of Wend Wellness for, it was actually 181 days straight of working out. So if you think that you're tired, try working out for 181 days straight. Was that a healthy form of hormesis? I don't know. That was a lot. I just wanted to see if I could keep going. Because I was pumped about it. I was pumped. Get pumped to do something great for yourself. That's how I felt. And you know what? After 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I said, I got to keep going. I got to keep going. I don't even know why. I want to help people, but shit, they could just look at these other videos. But no, I want to keep going. I deserve to keep going. I want to see how long I could go. I bet you I could do this for a month. I did it for a month, and I thought, holy crap, I am tired, sore. But you know what? Was I really that tired? No, it actually invigorated me. And you know what? I got more energy as I continued. I guarantee you go to the gym, you feel tired, you get yourself there. That's the whole battle. Get there. We did a video on that. Just get there. Just get there. That's the hard part. Just don't put the bad food in the house. It's already checkmate when it's there. That's the hard part. If a chiropractor treats somebody that they shouldn't treat and they do something that hurts them, which is really rare, 1 in a few million times that happens. We did a video on that. It was because they shouldn't have been on the table in the first place. The trouble starts when you set up incorrectly. And the benefit begins when you set yourself up properly. And getting to the gym is an example of that. And going grocery shopping is an example of that. And waking up at an early time is an example of that. You might not even know exactly what you're going to do, but put yourself in a position where something great can happen. Put yourself in a position where you have more outs, if you will. A nice pliable position and more time to do things that matter. And so I kept going. And before I knew it, a year went by. What did I realize when I did that? I said before, I didn't know dedication. I didn't. Chiropractic school is not easy. It's a lot of work. Getting a degree in biology at Stony Brook is not easy. It's a lot of work. Nothing was as much work as Wend Wellness. The amount of time and effort that went into writing all those workouts, into figuring out how to make a different workout every single day, 381 times in a row was a lot of work. And I'm not sitting here, oh, pat yourself on your back. I want you to realize you can do so much more than you thought in the same amount of time. Probably in less time than you even think. Because what happens is you just have to be more efficient. You stop wasting time. It's the most valuable asset you got. You're never going to get it back. And on that note, if you're depressed and you're upset and you're anxious, firstly, look to what can correct your mood and depression. Is it your nutrition? Is it a lack of exercise, a lack of sleep? Maybe something, artificial things you're doing. Is it something really bad that happened and this is only for a short time? That is natural. I am not undermining how serious depression is because I know it's really serious. And I've had a great life. And the saddest I've ever been is when family members have died. And it's a sad thing, obviously. It'll be a sad day when my dog dies. He's my best friend. He's actually trying to come into this room right now. Maybe I'll let him in for the rest of the video. I don't know yet. It's a serious time for me. But what do you lose when you're depressed all day? Time. That's your punishment. You lost the day. You lost it and you're never going to get it back. Don't waste any day. Don't waste any time being upset. I mean, yeah, you can mourn. Obviously do that. Address it. Address it. Don't just push it to the side. Definitely don't do any drugs when you feel like that. That's the worst thing you can ever do. Be totally sober. All right? And if you're going to think about doing anything, arguably it should be psilocybin. Strong benefit for depression. We talked about that. 25 milligrams 2 times. It was just 2 times over the course, I think it was 3 weeks. They had long-term benefit in terms of, reducing depressive symptoms, that group. As compared to a group that took escitalopram, it was, medication for depression. These things are in here somewhere. A lot of Wend Wellness. But, you lose time. So don't waste time doing that. That was the video we were holding the mushroom, if you guys were curious. But, so let's kind of go back to the routine here. So this is an important part. Going outside. How often do you go outside during the week? You work a 9 to 5? You're in an office every day? You work from home maybe? In your house, working? How much sunlight do you get? You just take vitamin D? You think any supplement's as good as the real thing you get from food or nature? Is there a lot of vitamin D in supplements? Why is it important to get vitamin D in the morning? What's vitamin D even good for? Vitamin D is most heralded for bone health and immunity, but it's also important for regulating your mood. It's also important for the health of your hair, skin, nails. A lot. And yeah, the best source is the sun. You can find it in food, but food sources rich in vitamin D, relatively scarce. Wild-caught salmon has the most, if you were curious, I believe. So get outside. It's not just the sunlight, it's the fresh air. It's putting your feet in the ground, your bare feet. Typically you get some of the benefits from grounding. You can, even just a few minutes is good, but 20 minutes or more, right? To have all the benefits we were talking about before and more. It's just natural. And again, Shane, how am I going to remember all this? Please don't memorize anything. You should be outside. You're a real human. You should eat whole food from nature. That's what we do. You should move around a lot. If you want to have high testosterone, what does someone with high testosterone do? You need to know that dehydroepiandrosterone becomes testosterone in the testes. The hell with all that. Who cares? It's cool. Who cares? Who cares that B vitamins are cofactors in energy metabolism? Nobody gives a shit. Just tell me what I need to take, what I need to do. Just be a natural person. That's the long and short of it. I tried to give you as many reasons as possible over the course of these 5 years to do that. You have to make relevance. You have to make it important. to someone. You have to make it relevant to their unique situation for them to follow up with something. That's what I noticed in practice. That's what I've noticed in life, dealing with friends, colleagues, people I train. It has to be important to you for you to actually believe that it's good for you, even if it's good for you and you just don't know why, this and that. So make it relevant to yourself. Put some importance to it. How do you remember the Cafe LA spots are associated with this disease, coast of California? And how do you remember, the fibrous dysplasia has this? When you're studying for boards in chiropractic, you make some relevance. You say they love coffee in California. It's coffee, Cafe LA. Oh, I'll remember that. Just make it fun to yourself and be excited about it. Give it some more importance and meaning than just words, and with education, you can help to fulfill that. If you become more educated and you realize what sugar is really doing to your body when you have added sugar and all this crap, processed food and dyes, you're not going to want them. If you saw what your insides looked like, you smoke cigarettes, you're not going to want it if you care about your lungs and your health in general and blood flow, risk of erectile dysfunction. Maybe that's what hits home. Maybe your skin being droopier hits home. You don't have to memorize anything. That's not natural. Okay, don't do that. Go outside in the morning. Get some sunlight. Why is getting sunlight in the morning important? Helps to start your biological clock. Regulate your circadian rhythm, your diurnal rhythm. Tells your body when you're tired, when you should stay awake. And that gets disrupted in people that say work overnights. And that's a big challenge for them. And that's something that, you have to overcome by getting a new job or getting ample amounts of sleep when you get home. What helps you sleep better? Not looking at a screen close to bedtime. Keep your room nice and cold. I say 68 degrees or less. Some things say 65. Some say different temperatures. I say 68, around there. Put an extra blanket on if you want. You like cars? Here's a reason to make your room cold. Do you know what a cold air intake does? I'm sure you do. Think about that engine being your body. Maybe it'll function a little bit better, recover better. You ever do cryotherapy? How do you feel after? Maybe you haven't. You don't even know what that is. Cold. Cryo's cold. Reason to do it, right? Find reasons to do these things. So again, you don't need to memorize anything, but more importantly, you don't need anything. You don't need a single damn thing except for air, water, food, and that's eventually. I don't need air right now. Right. Obviously you have to breathe, right? Eventually. But, that's just to really drive that point home. You don't need anything. Society tells you need all this crap so that they can hit price points. They can find different ways to charge you for things to get your money, right? So they make you afraid of things. They make you feel like you need things so that they can get paid, because that money will give them more time and good health and eventually lead to maybe some more happiness, right? But you don't need anything. And you don't realize that until you cleanse your system. And it's not a juice cleanse. Juice cleanses really don't work. We talked about how you're better off just having good whole nutrition, food, focus on healthy fats and protein and fiber, and being a dead horse, right? Micronutrients, colorful plate. You could eat a little less for that time, right? Hara Hachibu. We did a video on that, eating until you're 80% full. It's what they attribute the longevity observed in Okinawan populations to to a significant degree. People live forever. So, don't abuse your body in any way. Realize you don't need anything. And challenge yourself. And you will realize. And one way you realize you don't need anything, for sure, intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting. When I started fasting, it happened on accident. I was treating patients at the student clinic at Palmer, right? The chiropractic school I went to. It's actually the fountainhead of chiropractic. First ever adjustment was done on those campus grounds. 1895. It was D.D. Palmer on Harvey Lillard, if you were curious. Corrected his deafness. It was this whole thing. That's where it all started. Not saying I'm going to correct your deafness. Probably won't. Because he was better. But, pretty neat. School opened in 1897. But I was out there, and, I was working the clinic long hours. Then I would go and I would drive for Uber, right? And I would drive for Uber to earn money to help pay for whatever I owed from school aside from my rugby scholarship, right? And so I didn't want to have a lot of debt. I said, I'll go and I'll drive every day. This is something I can just do on my own time. That's great. And I'd be on the way home, and I hadn't eaten for now 8 hours, which was crazy for me because I always said you have to eat frequently. Eat frequently. Keep that metabolism cooking. Keep getting that protein in and that fat. And that's good. But do you have to eat frequently to boost your metabolism? Optimize metabolic function? Actually, in terms of fat burning, the most important thing, protein's the number one thing you can eat to burn fat. Leaves you feeling fuller, right? It has a greater thermic effect, meaning it takes more calories to digest it than the other macronutrients, fat or carbohydrates. Most importantly, though, leaves you with a higher resting metabolic rate. Builds muscle, muscle needs to eat, you burn more fat throughout the day. So I thought that, you should eat really frequently, but aside from protein, how do you burn more fat? You want to keep your insulin levels low. When insulin is active, it promotes the uptake of sugar into cells. Right? It opens these glucose transporters on the surface of cells. Glucose is sugar, right? And transporters, so they transport sugar in there, and then they can use them for energy, and they can use them to function. Right? Are you going to burn a lot of fat if you're using sugar for energy? The body's really smart. You think it's going to dive into your fat stores if you have all the sugar available to use and your insulin is up and working, which is associated with high blood sugar levels? Well, of course, the answer would be no. Okay, so what if insulin's off? What if there's no sugar in the blood? What's it going to do? Well, it's probably going to start to burn fat at some point. How long does that take? Preliminary stages of ketosis start about 12 hours into fasting. You go from glucogenic, or using glucose as energy, to ketogenic, or using fat for energy, producing ketone bodies, breaking down fat, beta oxidation. Doesn't even matter what it's called. Start using fat for energy, but not to a significant degree. Fasting for 12 hours probably won't do anything for you. 16 hours. All right, the 16-8's really popular. Why? You start to get deeper into ketosis there. You're getting some of the benefit, boosting some growth hormone, testosterone, improving your insulin sensitivity. Why is it doing that? I thought insulin's not even there when I'm fasting. Well, yeah, because the insulin doesn't have to work. So you're not abusing it. So when it works, it's going to work better. It's like you're resting it. Look at it like that. Give my insulin a rest. This way, when it works, it can work really well. It's got plenty of energy to do so. That's obviously not how it works, but it's a good way to remember that. And that's what's important. 18 hours into fasting, ketosis really vamps up. What if I go longer than that? If you're a girl, you shouldn't. In your reproductive years especially. Could cause reproductive issues, hormonal issues, infertility, fertility issues in general. I shouldn't say infertility. Irregular periods, right? So for men, we have an advantage. We can fast for longer. BDNF, what the hell is that? Brain-derived neurotrophic factor. We've talked about it 400 billion times here at Wend Wellness. brain-derived, from the brain. Neuros, nerve, trophic is growth factor. Makes you produce more brain cells. This BDNF. How do we increase that? Intermittent fasting. Exercise, especially aerobic exercise. Eating certain foods. All whole foods. It could be things like blueberries or dark chocolate. It could be, wild caught salmon, whatever. Healthy foods. But really remember fasting and remember exercise. Why are those things increasing BDNF? This goes back to that healthy form of stress thing. Because fasting and exercise are both that. Why is my brain going to make more brain cells? And what benefit is that going to give when I'm fasted, for example? Evolutionarily, if you didn't eat for 18 hours, what's your brain telling you? You get even more BDNF production if you go further. Right? There's really no additional benefit after, say, 72-hour fast. And talk to your doctor before doing anything crazy. I'm not even going to give disclaimers in this video. It's just it should just come with it. It's not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease. Anything I say here. It's to make you healthier and happier. And awake, we should say. To what you can really do. And how feasible it is. And that you can do anything. If you didn't find food for a long time, your brain, your body are going to have to be capable of finding food. So your brain says, we need to become more mentally and physically capable of finding food. So what are we going to do? Mentally, it's going to make you sharper. BDNF, brain cell production. Okay, got it. That makes a little sense. Also, autophagy. And you get into that maybe 20 hours, 24 hours into a fast, really kind of starts. Some sources say 30 hours. Some say 20, it'll start, But safely, pretty much in a full day fast, now you're getting into autophagy. And that second day of the fast, BDNF production up 400%. Growth hormone up 400%. Crazy increases in this stuff. So the reason that that's happening is very simple. Your growth hormone, your testosterone are going up. I can chase that deer. I can find it. I have good mental acuity. I'm focused. I'm locked in. I can see through freaking trees because I can't miss that deer. We're going to find that buffalo. That's a little baby rabbit that I could not let pass me by because I am damn starving. And I need to survive. Autophagy. What is that? Auto means self in Latin. Phagy means eating. So you self-eat in a good way. Dead dysfunctional brain cells, aka neurons. Not functioning as well anymore. Or the energy powerhouses in a cell, right? Your mitochondria. Mitochondrial health is very important as well. Fasting, exercise, they improve that. Getting more sleep, being less stressed, all that kind of stuff. Again, being a dead horse, right? So mentally and physically more capable of finding food with a prolonged fast. All right, so fasting is good. Having more protein is good for metabolism. For my muscles, it's also good for my bones. Get that whole food from nature. Eat a good amount of meat. Have a colorful plate. Have a shot of extra virgin olive oil every day. That Wend Wellness was about why extra virgin olive oil is amazing for you. It's full of antioxidants, namely oleuropein, oleic canthal, hydroxytyrosol. Names don't matter. They protect your cells in your heart, your brain, your other organs. Lowers blood viscosity, lowers blood pressure, improves blood vessel health. Just great for you. Supports BDNF production. It's really good. Reduces your risk for all-cause mortality. What does that mean? All-cause mortality, any cause of death, right? By 16% by having one shot of extra virgin olive oil every day. Speaking of which, what do I have every day? Aside from routine, which we can go back to. Shot of extra virgin olive oil, one avocado, loaded with nutrients. What do you I could go forever. We could do this video for 9 years. Extra virgin olive oil, but I gotta go eat dinner in a second. Avocado. Typically a shot of apple cider vinegar. about 130 to 150% of my body weight in grams of protein, depending on what I did that day. Cook every day. Get 8 hours of sleep. And do Wend Wellness. But that's about to change. Sadly, but appropriately. The game has changed, right? In regards to me not doing Wend Wellness every day anymore. And what I mean by that is, you have to adapt to life, right? And it was a great thing, a great idea. It was good helping people and helping me build my own knowledge and, good part of my routine every day for 5 years. That today marks. If you guys are late to the party, that's why we're doing this long video today. But things change. Now I need to take that time and I need to, market for my business. Maybe I'll have more time to get a fuller workout in the gym. Worry about my own health. I'm getting busier in the practice. I'm getting busier with training people. And eventually run out of hours. But you know what? You can make a lot better use of those hours than you ever thought. And I had already done that. And obviously I'm not perfect in that regard or any regard. Don't be like me. Be way better than me. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Be 1,000 times better than me. Nothing would make me happier. I would love to see that. I would love to hear that from you guys. Genuinely. But, even with being more efficient, it was too much in the schedule if I want to do other things. So you prioritize things and you do things you really want to do, right? You make time for things you really want to do. And I really wanted to do Wend Wellness, and I still really want to do Wend Wellness, but I really want to help people in my practice. I really want to help people that are in the gym that are really looking for the help. And it's not that everybody on Instagram is looking for the help, right? As many people as there are that are, and, I'm glad that you guys, hopefully have been able to take something good from even just one of these videos or a portion of one or anything. But, I'm dealing with people that are interested in improving their health in real life, in person. And so I have to cater to that. So if you want private Wend Wellness, you can come to 21 Main Street in Stony Brook, New York. 11790. You can book an appointment online even. But, so back to the routine. I do that in the morning. I go outside. Depends how long, different time of the year, I should say. I'll be out there for 20 minutes right now because it's nice out. But I even go out in the snow. I don't even know if that amount of grounding is really doing anything for me, but it feels good. Listen to my body, it feels good. It's part of my routine. It's almost equally as important as the grounding, the benefits, just having that routine, being consistent sleep schedule on the weekends as you have during the week. That's another thing that can improve your sleep, right? That we didn't mention before. I go to bed, I wake up at the same time. Is that conducive to partying all weekend? Being out at the bars till 2 a.m.? Obviously not. I don't do that. On the 4th of July, I just get a little less sleep, or maybe I sleep in a little bit because it's my favorite holiday, 4th of July. So I like to live a little too. But why don't I drink all the time and party on the weekends? Am I neurotic about my health? Nope, not at all. Why don't I eat sweets for dessert? Am I neurotic about that? Nope. I don't enjoy it. You know why? Because I feel like shit when I do it. So what the hell would I do that for? And any asshole that tries to get me to do that all the time, because that's what they do all the time and they feel like shit, probably not great friends with them anymore. Because we're just not walking along the same path, right? But I'm thick as thieves with those who have an interest in improving themselves, as I do. Constantly getting better is so important. Always happy, never satisfied. Did another Wend Wellness on that. Always be happy, but never be satisfied. You deserve more. You deserve that for yourself. You deserve to do more. You deserve to get yourself to realize you could do anything at any moment. Drive that home in your brain. Don't settle for less, no matter what anyone tells you. Oh, it's impossible. They already came out with that. Or you can't do that because you're going to have to. Never have to do anything. Just do whatever the hell you want while you respect other people. Be unique. Know that every situation in life is unique. Prepare yourself to better deal with any situation in life, because you don't know what's going to happen on any given day. Not just in the regard of you could wake up and get hit by a car and die and that's all it, and you should have enjoyed every day, which you should. That's one reason. Maybe you meet someone who's an important future business partner, but now you're walking on the street and you're high. I figured I'd wake up and smoke weed, and I personally don't like to do that, but I don't really care what you guys want to do. If someone came to work at Wend Wellness and they were high and they did an amazing job and I didn't realize that they were high, I don't really give a shit, to be honest. But if it impedes your function, obviously just go home. But you're not in a position where you're ready to seize the moment, right? And if you were in optimal mental, physical, and spiritual also very important, condition, then when that moment arose, you would seize it. And you never know when something that's going to change your life is about to happen. So, make sure that you're ready for it. You deserve that for yourself. And even if it's not about seizing a moment, it's about enjoying the moments. Living presently and being in tune with what's around you and not sitting on your phone, not using it as a crutch when you go out to dinner and sitting there and not talking to people. You're not going to get that time back. You can go on your phone later. The hell with phones. I wish we all would just smash our phones. Life would be great. It'd be hard for a little bit. But no, that's a whole nother thing. But as far as the routine goes, so after that I'll work out. And I work out why? It's amazing for your health. We don't even need to talk about all the benefits for your brain and physically and everything, right? Having better scores in school, even kids who exercise, improve blood flow before you work out. Levels of neurotransmitters, brain chemicals, acetylcholine, things like dopamine and serotonin, and all these things. Focus, attention, learning, memory, motivation, mood, arousal, acetylcholine. Dopamine, pleasure, motivation, reward. Serotonin, happy. If you guys are curious, respectively, going across the board, as we mentioned. But I prioritize it because I said that's what I'm doing every day to some degree. This morning, I didn't have, so you get it done first. And that's another thing. When you prioritize something, you don't say, I'm going to do this later. You do it now. There's no better time than now to get that thing done. And if you don't get it done, I guarantee you 100 other things are going to come up that day and you're going to forget about it. Or you're going to give yourself a reason that you don't have to do it. So get it done right away. If you really want to do something. I want to learn more about blah, blah, blah. Go read up on it. If it was that important to you that day, before work, read up on it. Because later you're going to be tired. You're going to want to relax and watch TV or whatever the hell you do. I personally don't really watch TV. But I'm not saying you're a bad person if you watch TV. I've watched shows and stuff. I just don't like to do that. I prefer to play chess in my spare time because that's what I enjoy doing. If I really enjoyed watching TV, I guess I would. But at least I get some mental exercise with chess and it's fun and, every game's different. That's awesome. It's great mental exercise. Kids that play chess have better scores in school, especially in math and science. You guys know that. We did a Wend Wellness on that. So if you want to help your kid do better in school, why don't you teach them chess? It teaches you how to solve abstract problems. No two games are ever the same. There are more possible chess iterations or outcomes, positions, than there are atoms in the observable universe. How crazy is that? Atoms in the universe. Possible chess outcomes. Chess outcomes is way more zeros on top of that 10. It's 10 to the 111 to 123rd power. Possible chess outcomes. Atoms in the observable universe, what we know the universe, 10 to the 79 to 81st power. Fun fact. So pretty cool. Well, maybe get into chess. If you want to play me in chess, if you beat me in chess, I'll give you a free Super U. Absolutely. I would love to get beat. I have been beat before, but not by people that just play for fun typically. If they know chess. Do I like chess? Because I like to memorize the Sicilian defense and the French opening. And the Banco opening. Don't give a shit about any of that. Just make the move that looks right. How does the move look right? You've experienced situations like that before. And you know things that generally bode well. And that relates to life. All of life that is approached strategically. It makes sense in chess to put pressure on the center of the board to get your king safe before you start to attack a lot, because you leave yourself open on the back door. Develop all your pieces. Utilize all your assets in life. As far as, and not only utilize all your assets, have them work together. Have them work together. If they accent one another, that's even better. 9 birds with 1 stone. These principles that chess makes evident, that are universally true regarding strategy, it's mind-blowing. It's absolutely mind-blowing. It'll change your life if you get really into it, I promise. And it has nothing to do with chess. I actually hate chess for what people think it is. Like memorizing crap. Don't memorize anything. Just like I told you not to memorize anything about nutrition or health. Understand the principles, the concepts. And then when the time comes and you have to make a decision, you'll make a good decision. Here is something that I think is universally true for exercise. 3 parameters you always maintain. Always different, always difficult, always in full control. Always different. Shock your body. Put yourself through different ranges of motion, different types of tests. Some days it's 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, jump squats with weight. Sometimes it's bench press heavy, 5 minutes rest between each set. Some days it's sprinting up your driveway like I did this morning. So I didn't have much time to do anything else with my work schedule. But I got it in because I prioritized it. And I feel great because I did it. Feel good after you did it. Right? Always different. Always difficult. You think if you do something that's really easy for you, what did we say? Immediately pleasurable and easy to do. Typically will not bring a lot of benefit in the long run. It's the reason it's easy, because people don't value it. Why don't they value it? For a damn good reason. It's not hard to attain. It's not rare. It's like a girl that sleeps with the whole block that nobody wants. We value diamonds because they're rare. They're hard to create. To forge, whatever, harvest, whatever the hell you want to say. Mine. It's just, it's no secret, really. So the fact that it's difficult, that's a good thing in exercise and in life. Always in full control. You always want to be in control. Not like a control freak. It's just to the degree that something is not moving you around, forcing things upon you. You can alter the form slightly in exercise to get more reps, but never to squirm or anything where you put yourself in a vulnerable position. Once the weight starts moving you, put it down, lift to fight another set. But I will alter my form personally. I've actually gotten ripped apart for this online by people that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Where I'll do, a set of like bent over rows and I'll be using my body a little bit. I'm doing that on purpose, so that I can get double the weight than if I stood there and just went like this. Yet later I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do time under tension. Like I'm going to do all that later. I'm just going to take advantage of the fact that I have a lot of energy and power right now. But I know my body really well. And I can feel exactly when I should stop. So that you have to develop. Don't do it like I do it when you first start working out. Go buy those YouTube videos. Go slow, controlled, eccentric. Go buy the book. Don't go kill yourself, all right? Change that I could do yes first. Always in full control. Look at chess relates to this strategic principle. You want to be forcing something. You want to be initiating. You want them to have to react to you. You don't want to react to the opponent, because then you're catering to what they want to happen. You're just prolonging the inevitable. They're determining the course of the game. You're not going anywhere for yourself. Just like if society determines the course of your game and you do the average same shit that everybody else does, you're not going anywhere for yourself. Something that the average loser does, you're not going anywhere for yourself. Nothing good about average. It's just average for a reason. Whole nother note, I guess. But, do something unique. right? Force the opponent to solve a problem. Solve a problem they created while creating a new problem for them. Right? Take the initiative. Take the initiative. If you wait for good things to come to you, they're not going to come. You got to go get them. You got to get out there and you got to go get them. And if you do expect them to come to you, I mean, you may be sadly mistaken. Some people get lucky. But luck is where preparation meets opportunity. You prepare well, you're more likely for something good to happen to you. You prepare poorly, you're more likely for something bad to happen to you. That's what I think karma is, to a significant degree. So prepare well. Put yourself in a position to get lucky. We've done a Wend Wellness on that, I believe. We probably touched like 50 Wend Wellness videos of it. It would take all night to try to remember them all. I can't do that. Yeah, I never say you can't. I guess I could. But, so, reactionary chess is losing chess when you're reacting to the opponent. And I don't want to just make this all about chess. It's just interesting how it relates to other things. So if you sit there and you just react, you're never gonna change anything yourself, right? You gotta be forceful in a good way. We'll kind of end it at that. Develop all your pieces, have them work in sync, in unison. How much is an asset worth that you don't use? Nothing. If that rook, we say it's worth 5 points, it's a made-up point value that humans made. The rook isn't worth shit unless it's doing something. If it sits in the corner the whole game, it's worth 0. I'll play the level 10 computer. I beat it by sacrificing pieces. I could be down a queen, but I'm in a position, maybe I'll post some of these videos. I screen recorded, I beat it like 70 times. It's beat me a bunch of times. I'm not like I beat this thing every time, and I would never beat like Stockfish, a really good one. This is from Chess Time. It's like, I don't know, whatever its rating is. But it's always doing something that it didn't expect. And the pieces that are in use and involved in the attack are greater than what it has to defend. And its king is open. So it's ahead of material, but it's all away from the actions. Doesn't matter. So that's the same concept in life. Like whatever you bring to the action, whatever you utilize, that's the only thing that matters. Doesn't matter if you have all this other crap. Look at material. Why are people not happy sometimes when they have all these materials? Are you using that golden eagle that sits in your room and you bought for $5,000, that Gucci belt that's like whatever? If you're happy, if you use it all the time and you're so happy, you look in the mirror, you're like, damn, I look fresh. I love this shit. That's great. You use it. Sure, it's doing something for you. But I'm telling you, all this crap that we have, you don't need anything. Again, materials, you don't need them. And in fact, if you have less, you'll probably be happier because you have to create happiness from within yourself. By doing things that are genuinely fun and good for you, you have to create your own fun. I think we're losing that as a society. Kids look at Instagram and TikTok and all these things, and they use ChatGPT to tell them how to figure something out or have fun. You used to have to go out and organize a game of street hockey. Before my job, I'm young, right? Like, look at people that were in the 1800s. They'd have to go find some stick and like hit a ball with it, and they were like, oh, we could play a game out of this, These kids who grow up in these underdeveloped countries, they have to make their own fun. You're better for it. Better for it. Another way you should be natural, right? Sitting on this right here that I'm looking at, it's not natural. It's not good for you. You're missing everything else around you. I'm just doing this right now because, it's productive and I feel good doing it. I want to share things with you guys. So then I work out, right? So back to the routine. So then after that, and do I work out every day? No. No. Listen to your body. Right, at this point, I can listen to my body because it gives me true signals. Because I don't eat crap. Because I work out. Because I treat it with respect. And in this healthful sense, this honest sense, it could tell me when I should or should not do something. So I can listen to it. And you have to develop that over time. At first, and I'm not even close to there yet. Right, I'm just every day trying to build. Again, always happy, never satisfied. Far from perfect. You develop that over time. So at first, if you're eating like crap, you eat all this processed food, this added sugar, refined flours, you go eat McDonald's every day, this and that tastes good to you. That tastes good because your brain's lying to you. You get on this health kick, you get on this gym kick, you start doing it, it's really hard, you feel like crap at first. It's like cleansing yourself. At first, it's so hard. right? But this healthy form of stress eventually leads to your brain and your soul telling you the truth about what's good for you. Then you can listen to it, and really only then. It has to be free of impurities. And what it is, yes, listen, because the body's an amazing machine. And if you listen to it, good things will happen. And if you improve its physical, mental, spiritual form, good things will happen. Let things flow naturally through you. Don't try to interfere with it. Don't think, just react. Make it as powerful as it can possibly be. Chiropractic helps to do that. That's why I love chiropractic. It's one of the reasons. Putting your body in a position to function optimally. We're not changing anything. The body heals itself. Give it the tools to do that. Put it in the right position. So that's definitely a very important point, is getting yourself to the point where you can listen to your body. So no, I don't exercise every day. I don't. If I'm tired, I need sleep. If I get home really late and I fasted all day, it's more important that I don't eat a huge meal close to bedtime. Not just regarding body composition, but the quality of my sleep. So I'd rather cook and eat early. The next day, I'll get in a good heavy workout. There is compensation for the fact that I didn't work out on this day. If I didn't work out 2 days in a row, there is compensation. I do an extra hard one the next day. There is compensation, and that's another true principle. You can't sacrifice something without any compensation. If you're going to sit there and you're going to eat like crap and you expect to be in good shape, what's the compensation? I don't recommend this. It better be physical fitness, right? You better go work out a lot. You better do something. If you don't ever pay attention in class and you have a test coming up, you think you're going to do well, there has to be compensation. You better study like a dog when you're at home. There has to be compensation, right? So don't kid yourself to think you can just do nothing or do something bad here and you don't have to balance it in some other regard. But if you live a healthy, natural life, untarnished with artificial crap, you move around a lot, you get outside, you're probably not going to really have to worry too much in general about compensation, because you're going to be in a good position almost always. And being true to yourself and making yourself proud of yourself. I can't reiterate that enough. But, we'll finish the routine and then we got to go eat dinner. So you could just talk forever. So after that, go to work. Work. Is it really work? I love what I do. This is, a whole nother topic. I love what I do. So I'll never work a day in my life, thank God. And I'm in a position to do that because I worked hard in regards to putting my effort towards something that I love, mastering something that I love. At least it was related to something that I love. I didn't always know about chiropractic, but it's related to helping other people. I always wanted to do that. I'm a personal trainer as well. I love to work out my whole life. I talk nutrition with people. I'm so into nutrition and so on. Right? So if you want to be happier, then work really hard at something you love. And if you love it, you're probably going to have more of a natural affinity for it. There is relevance to yourself in the regard. And you can make great things happen. And maybe you can make a living out of it. Maybe you could just make your days better. If you're not making a living out of it, it could be something supplemental and so on. But then I do that. Then I come home. So I fasted all day. And we talked about the benefits of fasting. And then I'll eat. So I'm about to go make probably 2 pounds of wild-caught salmon, whatever's really in the freezer. It's all good stuff. Because remember, the battle is getting the right things in the house, putting yourself in a good situation in the first place. I don't have to worry about looking in my freezer and finding all this garbage I can make for dinner because it's not there. It's only good stuff, right? So back to that point. But probably 2 pounds of wild-caught salmon. If there's scallops in there, I'll make a pound of that. Whatever it is, bunch of seafood. I'll have quinoa with it as the grain, right? We compared quinoa to sorghum the other day. Sorghum has a robust nutrition profile. It has more iron than the quinoa. It has more protein, but it's incomplete protein. Doesn't have all the essential amino acids. The building blocks of protein, right, is all that means. Things that you need to get from nature. That's why we call them essential. So that doesn't really matter that much. And the iron, it's non-heme iron. What is that? Well, That opposed to heme iron that you find in animal-based foods. So you don't really absorb it that well anyway. So it's not like, I would have a bunch of that just because it has those. I'm more interested myself, and again, this is just what works for me. If I fasted all day and I'm eating, within a few hours before bed, to not have as many carbs or calories with that grain. I don't count calories. I only count grams of protein and grams of fiber, as we said, right? But quinoa has a lot of fiber. The sorghum has a little bit more, but a lot of it's insoluble fiber, not the kind your gut bacteria can eat, right? And make all those good things we were talking about before that control these important functions in your body. But, it's a great supplemental seed, really, that I have with my meals. So I also have a colorful plate, right? I said I have that avocado. I have that shot of extra virgin olive oil. I have some chia seeds, some yogurt, cottage cheese, no added sugar in any of that, full milk fat cottage cheese. Fat is your friend. And then I'll hang out for a little bit. While I'm eating it, I'm only going to eat till I'm 80% full. Hara hachibu, remember. So then I'll get hungry again, probably 30 minutes. I'll eat more till I'm 80% full. Eventually, that big bowl of stuff I made is gone. And I don't go to bed really full because I paced myself. Now, in the beginning, coming right off the fast, I might eat half of that bowl because I was really hungry. Right? Albeit, when you fast, it's interesting because it reduces your cravings. It's not even like I'm craving that right now. I just know that my body should have it. And so I'm going to feed it. And especially because I worked hard today. Compensation. You can't work really hard, burn the candle at both ends. So I'm going to feed it. I'm going to fill it up right since I worked really hard, right? I expend a lot of energy and I put it through healthy form of stress. That would become unhealthy if I did not fill it up right. You don't fill a Ferrari up with regular, whatever the analogy is. So then I'll finish and, probably an hour before I go to sleep, phone's off, at least it's put down, no screen time, just relax, maybe meditate, think about something I want to do for tomorrow, think about something I'm excited about, and then naturally I get tired. I'm sitting there, no bright lights are off, do some stretches, right? Get in bed, do some mobility exercises for my low back, for my core, my thoracic spine, my neck. Just a few minutes. A few minutes a day goes a long way. Then go to bed. Right? So, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. And this is probably the longest Wend Wellness video we've ever done. But today marks 5 years, every single day of Wend Wellness. And it really, it fills my heart with joy to know that we've helped a lot of people. And also sadness in some way that it's coming to an end every day. But again, it's not the end of Wend Wellness. We're going to do it every Wednesday, so we'll see you tomorrow, baby. That's for damn sure. But we can't say we're not sure where, not sure when anymore. See you then, because it's going to be on Wednesday. I guess we won't know exactly when or where, so I guess, sometime on Wednesday. But yeah, thank you guys, because doing these has really helped myself. And, I did this with the intention of giving other people good information and tools to independently improve their life. But really, it's done so much for me. And I've been able to help myself and help other people to a much greater degree since I started doing Wend Wellness. And I've, learned all these things. And it's opened my eyes to a lot in life. So I'm really thankful for that. I'm really thankful for everything that Wend Wellness has given all of us. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. So, as for now, that's all we got for you, folks. We'll see you tomorrow, baby. Not sure where, not sure when, but we'll see you then. Have an awesome rest of your night. Thank you so much. Happy Wend Wellness.